When my grandmother passed away, the things that I
Go
followed.
ahead and mute you all. And wait for others to come in.
Shannon, I love your hair.
Thank you.
It looks awesome. I haven't seen you in person in a while.
I know. I've had it for like 12 weeks now, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
3
yours
months.
is long, getting long also.
Yeah, underneath it is.
Yeah.
It's like here.
It looks good. I love it.
Thank
And you
you.
made it darker.
Yes.
I like it. Looks
Thank
good.
you. These for the winter.
Yeah.
I'll go lighter again. Not blonde, but lighter. I know I'm happy you're on here, Edie.
I've been on and off so sick. I can't even tell you, with the flu and helping my daughter with the babies. I mean, I'm working out a lot. And I'm consistent. Well, with my macros here and there, but I'm working out more, I think, than I've ever worked out before.
But you know you can't work out a bad diet, right?
I know. And I've had my bad days, but overall, I am, keeping in tune with my macros. I'm just not perfect with them. That's why I'm on here. I need a little fine tuning.
Good. Perfect. I'm just gonna put a post in the group, remind everybody, and then we're gonna get started. All right, 2 more minutes and then I'm starting. I probably won't even keep you here at full 30. It's just Q&A. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Nobody actually really sent me any questions, which I kept asking you guys for. So I'm just gonna go through questions that I've had and questions that have been asked before, and then just go from there. So tomorrow is the first day of the Shred Tribe 8-week challenge. Yay! The first official week of the meeting will be Wednesday. So today's not like a kickoff meeting or anything like that. It's just officially the Q&A. I did post that starting with the new session, we'll be doing 2 workouts on Tuesday, one at 6 and one at 7, because I had a bunch of people say 6 and a bunch of people at 7. I don't mind working out twice. So we're going to do a 6 and a 7. They're only 30 minutes anyway. And then the Sunday morning one, I think I put 9 a.m. So same Zoom channel, just same meeting number, whatever. It's just, you got to be there at 6 or 7 with resistance bands. And if you have dumbbells. If you message me that you wanted the Shred Tribe Resistance bands, if I'm going to be seeing you, like I know I'm going to be seeing you, Ada. I know I'm going to be seeing a couple of people. I'm going to bring them with me to Orange Theory or Retro Fitness instead of mailing them out. So that's where I am with that. Okay. So I did get this. I don't really know if there's a question or not, but someone said, am I allowed to come take your classes at Retro Fitness? So I am allowed to bring guests to Retro Fitness. If you want to take a spin class, if you want to take a Bosu class, just let me know. If you want to do what day, like Mondays at 10 a.m., I teach a Bosu and dumbbells bands class. Mondays at 6 p.m., I teach a spin and sculpt class. And then Thursdays at 9 a.m., I teach a Bosu and bands class. I do the workouts with you guys. They're an hour each. So if you decide you want to do that, let me know and I can get you in, no problem. Someone else asked if I do private training in person. I used to do it. I used to go to people's houses and do all that training stuff. And it's just a lot to drive around and schlep all my equipment with me. So I don't do that anymore. I do online Zoom training, which a couple of people do with me. And they're 30-minute sessions and they're $25. So that's that. Okay. How do I get nutrition shout outs? I see people's names being posted saying daily nutrition met or what hit the daily nutrition goal. So the way you get that is by hitting your numbers. 10 over or 10 under proteins and carbs, and then fats within the 8 grams. Am I dark or can you guys see me? Give me a thumbs up if I'm not dark. Okay, cool. All right. I see me as being dark. So, so if you are 22 over, you're not going to see your shout out. If you are 12 under, you're not going to see your shout out. So you'll see the shout out when you hit those numbers, and you guys are killing it. Like the new group, you guys see it. You see your names being shouted out. So awesome. Great job. You didn't need to be shouted out this week. This week was practice. So as we go forward, you'll start to see shout outs. It may be every day. It may not be every day. Ideally, you want it every day. But I didn't just add you. I will be adding you into the full nutrition shout out group where everybody that is in the Shred Tribe is in that group, not just the little group that you're seeing now. So you'll see that. And then I just added you to the important announcements group as well. Okay. If you hit your protein, carbs, and fats within the 10s, but you still have calories to go, are you okay? Should I worry when everything else is good? Should I worry about calories? No, because we're not tracking calories. Calories and macros equal each other. So if you hit all your numbers, and let's say you're under in your proteins and your carbs by that 10, so that makes your calories way under, right? Because each one is 4 calories. So it'll put you under 80 calories. And then let's say you don't hit all your fats. So maybe you're under your calories, 120 calories. That's okay because you're within your macros ranges. So don't worry about hitting the calorie numbers. I already have that accounted for. Okay, next sheet. Are habits important? So the premise, the backbone of changing your life and making new lifestyle adjustments is creating new habits. So they are the utmost importance. Getting your water in, getting your steps in. If you are a massage therapist and you know you're not going to get your steps in because all you do is walk around a table all day long, like very little, then let me know. I'll change your steps. I'll make it a little bit less challenging for you. I would rather be achievable than disappointing. I'd rather you exceed your expectations than feel like you are failing, because that's not where you're going to be successful. But that sounded really weird. You'll be failing, so then you won't feel successful. But anyway, so let me know if you need me to change them. We'll have this discussion about it. Don't message me and say, I want you to change my carbs or change my fats, or I should be eating more or less, because we won't have a discussion about it, because your numbers are as set. Unless we've had a conversation about this, unless your fitness changes, your lifestyle changes, you get sick and you're not going to be working out for weeks on end, you have to have surgery, whatever the case is, then yes, obviously we'll have a conversation, we'll make the adjustment. This was a question. This is really funny. It's from December of 2019. So I must have not have covered alcohol very well back then. But they said, is tracking alcohol just as important as tracking my water? So tracking alcohol is even that much more important than tracking your water, because alcohol has carbs and fats. Water is water. So yes, you have to track everything. I am going to trademark these. If you bite it, you write it. If you snack it, you track it. If it goes in your mouth, it goes in your app. No question about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you don't know how to track something, just ask me. Say, hey, I have this great dinner and I don't know what to do. Or, you know, I'm going to eat, or I'm going to have a Long Island iced tea. How am I supposed to track that? Hopefully nobody's really drinking that. But so anything that you need help with, just message me. I'll be happy to work with you and show you how to do it. I will not do it for you, but I will, a lot of times I'll go in to either Fitbit or MyFitnessPal or my app, and I'll do a quick video, screen video, and then send it to you. And that really does help. Or I'll say, send me a screenshot. Let me see what you're trying to do. Because that lets me be able to see inside your world. I see a lot of what's in your app, but there's some things I don't see. Recipes. So you guys are now in the recipe group and people are posting recipes. I also, if you close out your app and reopen it right now, you're going to see this. I'm opening up somebody's random. Okay. Underneath your habits, you're now going to see this. Shortcuts. It wasn't there an hour ago. If you click the shortcut that says Facebook group, it's going to take you right to my Facebook group. Raise your hand if you do not see this. Okay. So once you're in my Facebook group, if you click on that magnifying glass and type in turkey, it's going to bring up every recipe that I've put in here with turkey. Also, I've been trying to go through my Facebook group and I have a topic called recipes. So if you put in recipes, first of all, you'll see my recipe book that is on Amazon. But you can download it, message me, and I can download it for you or send it to you. But there's a bunch of recipes, go through it. And then I also, in that same Facebook group, let me go back there. Go to the top, files. You're going to see a ton of recipes. Coconut crusted baked chicken tenders, those are my favorite. Turkey meatloaf, guiltless ice cream sandwiches, coconut flour pancakes, sweet potato wedges, zucchini chips. And then I used to write for a fitness magazine, and a lot of the articles are in here. So you guys can read those as well. So anyway, you can get that through the app now. You can go directly to the app and do that. I'm going to add a bunch of other things too, because I just found out about this. And I added also the tips that I put in the cheat sheet group, but now it's at your disposal. You can just pull it right up by clicking on where it says tips. How cool is that? I'm going to put the link to my recipe book in there too as a shortcut, so you guys can just click on it. And anything else I find that's freaking awesome that should be linked, I'm just going to do it instantly. This way you guys have it. Okay, next question. What is the best way to track food that you can't scan? The best way is to look for the best possible answer. If it is, and this is so not true because, well, no, you really can't scan apples. So let's say you have a red apple. You want to find the best possible apple. You know what kind of apples you buy. So if you're buying a Red Delicious, you're going to look for a Red Delicious apple. Don't just pull up Fuji. They have different carb contents. If it is I mean, anything, you just type it in and it's going to find the most reasonable answer. If you see something that has no carbs and fats, and you know in the back of your head it really does, then it's not the right answer. It's not the right line item to choose, right? So you want to choose the right one. When I eat it like Bole and Chipotle or just salad, I build it. Like I don't build a recipe. I just pick every single item and log each item that's in my build. It makes it a lot easier. Because I'm not that person that gets the same thing every time. But if you are, then you can make a recipe and keep it forever. How often should we be exercising? Are macros adjusted if exercising more than what we stated at the start? Do they adjust when weight is lost? You should only be exercising the amount of time you told me you're exercising. And I will never tell you you need to be exercising X amount of time, except if I find you doing more cardio than strength training, I will tell you to flip your ratio. Or if you're not getting any strength training in, I will strongly advise it. Especially when you hit over 40, strength training is much more important than cardio. Yes, you need cardio. It's great for cardiovascular health. It helps with weight loss, but not body fat loss. So, you exercise as often as you told me, no more, no less, preferably. Now, if you told me 4 and you're doing 5 or 3, I do it in a range. Depending on if I know you, I read through your stuff, I could do a range of 1 to 3, I could do a range of 3 to 5, I could do a range of 2 to 4, I could do a range of 4 to 6. So I can decide. Now, if you tell me that you work out at Orange Theory Fitness 5 days a week, that's not 5 hours. Because I work in Orange Theory. And I know that the workouts are not an hour. They might be 48 minutes with all the walking back and forth, with the cool down. So I usually change that gauge just a little bit for that. Could you talk about, I watched the video, blah, blah, blah. Okay, can you talk about intermittent fasting? I don't really like to have a topic on intermittent fasting because intermittent fasting is just a way of eating, a timing of eating. For some people, it helps them burn fat, lose fat faster, but it's not for the masses. So I never really say, oh, intermittent fasting is great, or you need to try it, or it's definitely going to help you burn fat, because that's not the case. It is the timing of your food. And for people that have a hard time spacing out their food, it would work for you. For me, it works for me because I eat from usually 12 to 8. So I get all my food in, but I don't do it for any other reason. So as far as intermittent fasting goes, it might help you, it might not help you. So I don't really talk about it, but it's great for timing your food. Works for you. How do I log my workouts? So if you're not linking something to the app, or there's something that's not pulling up through your phone, if you click the pink plus sign, you can build your own workout. So if you click workout, you can log exactly each item that you're doing at the gym, which is what I do for myself. Or you can click activity and you can choose an activity that's listed. Or if you don't find the activity you want, if you click general and walk through the steps, you can type in a name. So you'll see OTF. It's not an option, but they type it in. Or you'll see strength training. It's not an option, but they'll type it in. So you can choose any of those options to put strength training in. How do I unsubscribe from a group? Meetup is not for me. I don't live in your area. So if there's a group you don't want to be in, like if you're in the alcohol group and you don't drink, or that exact question, if you're in the meetup group and you don't live around here, or you choose you don't want to meet anybody, just let me know. I will remove you from groups. There's a couple of groups I won't remove you from, and those are the important announcements, the nutrition shout outs, the ebook, and then the YouTube channel and the Zoom link, because those you have to have. This is funny. How did I wait so long to do this, and why did I wait so long to do this? I don't know, but I give that question every time because it makes me smile. What do your daily logs look like? So the sample meal group, I've taken screenshots of my daily logs. Even if it was a year ago, it's the same, just so you all know. Even if it was 3 years ago, it's the same. Because I eat the same thing every single day. It's easy for me that way. So I don't change, and I'm not a foodie. So for me, I don't need variety. Now, if you need variety, that's totally different, but you can get some ideas from my logs for sure. Can you drink more than half of your body weight? So you want to drink half your body weight. If you're working out a lot, you can drink more than that, but you don't want to over drink your water. That's not good for you. And we're going to talk about that in a meeting. I also take collagen peptides. Do we need to log that? Yes, because it's protein. Now, we are not competing for bodybuilding competitions. If you are, you'd be in a different coaching system than you're in with me. But for our purposes, your protein peptides, if you're taking Vital or any of those, you can log it and use it as protein numbers to hit your proteins. They're not a full protein. They don't have your full amino protein ratios, but that doesn't matter for us doing this program. We're doing macros. But if you were doing something else and you were trying to get cut for a bodybuilding competition and you wanted to get to 8% in body fat, then we would need to be more precise about it, but it does count. And I use the Vital proteins, the unflavored, and I put it in my BCAAs. So doesn't taste like anything. Do I want to pay attention to fiber? Yes, you do. You don't want your fiber to be too low. You don't want your fiber to be too high. That will stop you from going number 2. So you want to be mindful of that. It should be anywhere between, let's say, don't let it fall under 15. And usually for people, don't let it go over 25, but everybody's different. So you'll start to see a rhythm on what works for you. Let's see. If at the end of the day you are below your macros unintentionally and you are full, how does force feeding help fat loss? If your body's telling you that you're full, bless you. If your body's telling you that you're full, why? So you're not force feeding per se, but you are making it a goal to hit your macros. And the way not to force feed yourself at night is by getting them in throughout the day. So if you are stuck with a certain amount of protein or carbs at the end of the night, and I'm telling you, you really need to eat the proteins. I probably won't make you eat the carbs, but I will I will advise you to eat the proteins. Start early in the day, knowing that you keep leaving these over at the end of the day and you'll get them in, and then you won't have that force feed issue. And I always talk about the story of my bowl of food. And when I first started doing macros, I cried at the table, could not get my tilapia down and my broccoli down, and cried and cried. And my ex-husband, he was my husband at the time, would say, why are you doing this to yourself? Just get up and put it down the garbage disposal. And I was like, no, I committed to this and I'm doing this. And after 2 weeks, I wanted it. My body wanted it. And I was so lean and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But I still eat out of my big bowl and I still do the same thing. But I learned at that point to get up, walk around, come back and eat it. And I finally would get it done. So if I can't get it all at once, I mean, now I have no problem with it. Now I want more macros and I try to work out more so I could eat more. But at the time I had no idea about that. Eating out, can I eat out? Yes, we've talked about this in our macros 101 meeting. I know it's a lot of food, but someone messaged me and they said, is a lot of food, do I have to eat it all? I know it's a lot of food, but it won't feel like it. And I just went over that. Is tofu an ideal protein, or is chicken or tuna better? It's up to you. Whatever you like for protein, you eat. Track it, eat it. And if it works for you, awesome. I personally don't like tofu. I don't eat red meat. So for people that are like, oh, I eat steak, that's awesome. I just don't. I don't eat burgers, that kind of thing. And not for any other reason except I don't like the taste of it. It's not, has nothing to do with cleanliness or trying to be lean or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. Should we be buying a scale or something special for measuring food? So I used to say no. Now I say, if you have one, use it. If you don't have one, go get a cheap one for like $10 and use it in the beginning, because that will teach you mindfulness of portions. And then eventually you won't need it, or it'll just be there in case you do need it for something new. But you'll start to understand and learn how much of everything you're having by having that scale. Danielle, who's not on here right now, she takes it with her to restaurants. She takes it with her on vacations. She's also lost, over 70 pounds. So that works for her. Do I need to log my vitamins? Not necessarily, unless you are like me and you eat gummy vitamins. And all my vitamins are gummy vitamins. And I have about 39 carbs of gummy vitamins a night. So I have to log those. But if you took regular vitamins, you don't have to track them or log them. You can, but you don't have to. But if it's gummies, you have to. We talked about salt intake, and as long as you are exercising, you don't have to worry about your salt intake. Someone asked me if the meetings are mandatory. They're never mandatory. But the more engaged you are, the more accountable you are, the more successful you will be. And the meetings are super important. I'm going to let them tell you that on Wednesday when we do our first meeting of the actual session. Does anybody have a question? Put it in the comments if you do, and then I will read it. If not, I pretty much answered all the questions, which I knew it wouldn't take me very long, but I'm looking in the comments just to see if anybody has anything. Or does anybody have a question that they don't want to write? They just want to say it. You can. It's a small group. There's only 12 of you. No, everybody's going to kick ass. Everybody's going to hit their macros. Nobody has any questions. Logging condiments. So logging condiments, ketchup, barbecue sauce. Yes. Salt, pepper. No. Powdered seasonings like Flavor Gods, depends on which one, because if it has protein, carbs, or fats, you have to log it. Sugar-free barbecue sauce usually has fats, no carbs. So yes, log it. Just scan it. It makes it a lot easier. If you can't scan it, just type it in, whatever it is, and it'll probably populate in there. So yes, depending on what it is, definitely logging condiments. Any other questions? So every day for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be posting in the group at 2 o'clock. Is everybody ready for me to check your macros? And when I say that, it's when you have as much as you can get in there. Maybe you're going to tell me, I just don't have dinner yet. And I'll say, okay, well, what do you think you're going to have for dinner? And then I'll say, well, probably you're not going to have enough for that part of it, or we'll talk it through. This way you have more of an opportunity to get it in before the end of the day. If you do it at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, there's no way you're going to be able to hit those numbers, right? And then, and when you guys join the workouts, we start right away. We don't wait the 5-minute wait. We start at that time. And I actually put the Zoom on exactly at that time. So, but if I could put it on a few minutes earlier, because it won't kick us out. Okay, anybody have any other questions? Are you guys ready? Are you excited? Yay! I am too. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, if not Tuesday at the workout, Wednesday, first meeting of Always Be Badass in 2023. All meetings and workouts are recorded. And if you go in the YouTube channel, you'll see them all there from previous too. Okay, I'm going to get off here now. It's Sunday night. I hope you guys all have an amazing night. Let's kick ass starting tomorrow. Everything will populate in your app tomorrow morning, God willing. You'll see your calendar. You'll see your to-do list. If not, when you wake up, hopefully at some point, if you don't see it, please wait and photos, because sometimes depending on if it's getting loaded Central Time, it won't hit till 9 a.m. So I couldn't figure out if I had the right timing or not, but it's going to populate in your app. So, and then if there's anything you think of that you want a shortcut on there, let me know and I could try and figure that out too. Like how I did my Facebook group and how I did the tips. If you think of anything, let me know and I'll try to put it in there. All right, everybody have an amazing night. Thank you so much for joining me. Always be badass, and I will see you guys this week. Bye, everyone.